on Southern Miss Radio, bringing you the news and whatnots near you. We have a fabulous show for you lined up with Helen Grant explaining how her coach built up excitement for sports, and our news wrap with Zion Cochran reporting on the nationwide night out of Live at 5. So you don't want to miss it. Tune in and hear word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277. And the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest. Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Welcome back. Here's your news for today. Our School of Media and Communication are hosting Strategic Communication Week. Our School of Communication are hosting the StratCom Week this week from October 17th to 18th, which features 2 alumni professionals, a range of events and such as video contests, panels, sessions, and portfolio review sessions. A Student Media Center open house was also held October 16th as part of the week's schedule of events. Hattiesburg News, the Hub City announced its plan for Martin Luther King's Avenue. The city of Hattiesburg is continuing its efforts to improve infrastructure along its streets. On Hattiesburg Tuesday, Mayor Toby Baker announced plans to upgrade the water and sewage along Martin Luther King Avenue. Anytime our city is 140 years old, you're going to have infrastructure that's going to need to be replaced. In our term, we did over 50 town hall meetings and heard from residents, said Baker. In most neighborhoods, the refrain from water and sewer work comes out. Baker said the improvements will increase public safety and help prevent common water issues. Once the water sewage phase is complete, the city will then start paving the roads. You won't have the deep potholes that come up when you have a sewer line break. When you have move up from 1 or 2 inch to a 6 inch line, you're going to have more consistent water pressure, Barker said. You can have greater confidence in your fire protection and fewer occurrences of brown water. In total, the project would cost about $4 million. In Hattiesburg News, a historical marker plan to honor students who integrated Mississippi University for Women. Mississippi is planning to unveil a historical marker honoring the first Black students at the University for Women. In the spring of 1966, Laverne Green Leach, along with her best friends Diane Hardy and Barbara Turner Bankhead, had just graduated from Hunt High School, where Black students attended the segregated school system in Columbus, Mississippi. That fall, the 3 17-year-olds arrived at the Mississippi State College for Women along with 3 graduate students, Mary Flower, Jacqueline Edwards, and Eula Hauser, as the school's first Black students. On Thursday, the state will unveil a historical marker on the campus now known as the Mississippi University for Women, honoring their journey. It will be placed in Pioneer Plaza beside Carrier Chapel during a ceremony starting at 3 p.m. The marker is the result of a collaboration between the History Department of MUW and Chuck Yarborough's history class of Mississippi School for Mississippi Women. All right, that's been your news update from Southern Miss Today. Up next, we'll have the latest in sports and weather, so stay tuned, and we'll be back for a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Imagine being denied an apartment because of housing discrimination.
It's so wrong.
But who has the power to stop this?
You do. The law is on your side. If you've been discriminated against because of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or familial status, file a complaint with HUD. Fair housing is your right.
Use it.
Visit HUD.gov/fairhousing, a public service message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Welcome back. Now we're to our action-packed sports. Our team has earned yet another loss. Womp womp. LaDamian Webb had 20 carries of 102 yards and had 4 of South Alabama's 7 rushing touchdowns to help the Jaguars beat Southern Miss 55-3 Tuesday night. The Jaguars, who had 32 first downs in their 55-7 win over Louisiana Monroe last week, had 34 first downs Tuesday. Southern Miss extended their skid to 6 in a row. The Golden Eagles haven't scored an offensive touchdown since a 50-36 loss to Texas State on September 30th with 2 games. Webb scored runs of 5 and 6 yards through the first quarter and another 5-yarder early in the second before Kentrell Bullock added a 17-yard touchdown run that made it 28-0 with 7 minutes and 3 seconds left before halftime. The Jaguars scored touchdowns on each of the first 4 possessions, the first 3 of which were at least 10 plays and 75-plus yards. Webb made it 41-3 when he scored his 4th touchdown from 16 yards out with 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter. South Alabama had 647 total yards and limited the Golden Eagles to just 149-65, of which came on their last drive, which ended with a fumble at the Jaguars' 29. Southern Miss men basketball senior guard Austin Crowley has been named Sun Belt Prison Player of the Year as voted on by the league's 14 head coaches. The Golden Eagles were picked 4th in the preseason coaches poll. To keep up with all the Golden Eagles sports activity, head on over to southernmiss.com. As for our weather today, we'll be sunny and a little warm with highs in the mid-70s. A few clouds will move in on Thursday in advance of a front. There won't be much moisture for this front, so rain chances will be slim. Skies will be mostly sunny on Friday afternoon with highs in the low 80s. Saturday will be bright and sun will be highs in the low 80s also. Clouds will move in for your Sunday with highs in the low 80s as well, and that's your weather forecast for the rest of the week. Up next, we have Mississippi Moments produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Before Coach Kay James came to Southern Miss, women's basketball had been largely ignored. Helen Grant describes how Coach James built up the team and generated excitement.
My sophomore year, Coach James came over and I came with her. I had just come from a team that had, the year I was there, went to a national tournament and came in 3rd. The year before that had won the national tournament. And even at Berry, we didn't have a lot of promotion done for women's basketball, but when we got here, none whatsoever. There was no promotion done, not very many people came to watch, and there were very few scholarships. It's almost like people didn't care that you had a team, and I think once she got here and was serious about building a program, the support came in at that point. And another thing that she did is she brought in some very good players that could move the program up a level. And when she got in those, which were some of the top Mississippi players at that time, that set the precedent. And that sent the word out too, hey, Southern Mississippi has a coach that right now is very serious about putting this program on the national scene.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. Humanities are for everyone.
That was your Mississippi Moments for today. Coming up, we have the pleasure to hear from Dr. Simpson discussing about StratCom Week. So stick around and hear a message from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Calling all families.
Calling all children. And kids of all ages.
Are you looking for a variety of music the whole family can listen to?
Yeah!
Then look no further. We have traditional songs, international tunes, and fresh new beats.
Join us every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m.
Right here on Southern Miss Radio
for the Hickory Hickory Dickory Dock Show. Catch you Saturday. Catch you then.
Oh, they were so cute. Well, now please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Dr. Simpson. How are you, Doctor?
Hello. Yeah. Great
So,
to be here.
can you provide an overview of the goals and objectives of the Strike Home Week for this week?
Sure, absolutely. This is the second year that we have held Strategic Communication Week, and the idea is to highlight our strategic communication major and the tracks that we have in them, and to provide opportunities for our students in those majors to discuss the issues of the day, what's going on in the industry with professionals. So strategic communication is integrated marketing communication. Some schools call it that. I call it communication with a purpose. So the idea is that you are working on behalf of clients, such as nonprofits, companies, organizations, to craft their messages for their audience. And you do this across advertising, public relations, things like websites, social media, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what our students do in strategic communication. It's very exciting, definitely an up-and-coming field, a lot of opportunities there. So Strategic Communication Week is designed to highlight all of that stuff going on. So Monday we had a open house with our Student Media Center, which includes a vibrant strategic communication division. They're off doing all kinds of crazy things all the time, which is great. On yesterday, we had a group of professionals come in and they spoke to classes, and they held an afternoon of portfolio reviews and resume reviews. So the idea is you sit down and you talk with professionals about, okay, what do I need to have in my portfolio? What do I need to have on my resume? How should it look in order to get a job, right? Once you get out of school. We all like jobs once we get out of school, right? That's the idea. So today is very exciting. We have a panel discussion at 2:30 over in the Cook Library, where we'll have a panel of 4 professionals, and these are all alum. We try to tap our alumni to come back, and they are always very generous to come back and talk to the latest generation coming through. So on the panel today, we have Sarah Belk with Gulf Coast Power. These are all relatively recent graduates. Everybody graduated within 5 years or so. Trey Brennan, who is the communications director for the Ocean Springs High School School District, down on the coast. We have Vivian Cookmeyer, who is with an agency called the Ad House. And then we have Keenan Walker, who is a communication specialist with Hattiesburg Clinic here in Hattiesburg. So they'll be on a panel, and we'll be talking about what are the latest issues going on in strategic communication. For instance, things like artificial intelligence. So have you tried artificial intelligence yet?
I have, actually.
What do you think?
It's intelligent enough. You know what I'm saying? It's robotic intelligent. You know, there's a difference between humans' intelligence and robotic, and it's just like, it's not as advanced as we could make it.
Yeah. So what did you use? ChatGPT? Is that what you use?
I couldn't remember which one it was.
Yeah. And
did
you use it for, what'd you use it for?
I used it for, like, kind of enhance my paragraph. Like, I had a little paragraph, and I was like, I don't think I know, like, little good words. So it had, like, little
interesting
little options to, like, simplify it or amplify it, and just to make me look more smart, you know.
There you go. It's really interesting. So in my class, I teach our Communication Studies 101 class. And so I said, I actually want you to start playing around with ChatGPT because that's where the industry is. So our students need to understand it. They need to know how to use it. They need to know how to make it work for them. But I will tell you, very few students appear to have done it. There was a case where one student did, but you're exactly right. It came across exactly as a robot would do it. And so I wrote him back. I said, he got full credit for the assignment. And I said, okay, I appreciate this. But if you present this as your work, it's very apparent that a robot did it. You can't do that. So we're having those kinds of discussions among the faculty. Industry is really looking.
Who would have thought we would have these conversations?
What's that?
Who would have thought we would have these
conversations?
Oh, I know,
right? I mean, it's crazy. Although it's been coming. We know it's been coming. So faculty are very mixed. Some faculty say they don't want their students using it at all. Other faculty, like me, are saying, no, I want you to use it. I want you to embrace it. Make what you, if it helps what you do, then use it.
Right.
But you have to understand, you're responsible for what you do. So you can't turn something in and have the robot get it wrong or have the robot be wonky. And then you say, well, that's what ChatGPT gave me. Well, no, that doesn't work.
You can't rely on that.
Yeah, you can't rely on it. So the way I look at it is, it's if you use a calculator, like you're over in one of the math classes and you use a calculator, you're still responsible for the answer that the calculator gives you. So you have to know, you have to know actually quite a bit, right?
Right.
You have to know whether you mistyped the formula that you wanted the calculator to use. You have to know whether that answer makes sense. Same with ChatGPT.
Yep.
So that's kind of my argument. I think that's where we're gonna most of us will end up.
I never really thought about it like that. That was really
I think that's where we're gonna. That's where we'll probably end up. So we're very excited about the panel this afternoon. That's at 2:30 over in Cook, and then at 4 o'clock we will have a mixer. So I hope everybody across campus actually come over to College Hall. We're going to be on the first floor. We're going to have some things set up on the porch. We'll have the doors open. It's supposed to be a beautiful day, beautiful evening. And then we'll have the panelists, so those 4 that I mentioned, and then several more will actually come over. So this is actually PRAM, which is the Public Relations Society of Mississippi, will be there, and they will be talking to students. And again, so the whole idea of StratCom Week is to support our students in those majors by linking them up directly with industry professionals, talking about internships, talking about jobs post-graduation, talking about the kinds of things that they need to have on their resume and in their portfolios to be successful. So that's the whole idea.
So Dr. Simpson, what inspired like the idea of this whole come together of the StratCom Week and for the specific media? And
Yeah. So actually where it came from was a discussion with faculty and students after last year's, actually 2 years ago, we have annually, we bring in broadcasters to do a very similar thing. And it's a Mississippi Association of Broadcasters Day. And they come in, last year we had 19 news directors from television stations across the South. Actually, we had Alabama, Mississippi, come in and interview our students, both for internships and for jobs. And that's what we're seeing in the broadcast industry right now.
So it's like a job.
It's a job fair is really what it is.
Cool.
And this is really the last couple of years, this is what's going on in broadcast, is local television is so hungry for talent right now that 7 years ago, say, jobs were pretty competitive. You had to be among probably the top 50% of the students to get decent offers. Now, it's not nearly as competitive. The broadcasters are recruiting heavily our students, which I love. I think that's great. Now, you still have to prepare yourself. You still have to have a decent portfolio. You have to have worked in the Student Media Center. You have to have done those kinds of things. But the broadcasters are paying attention, and they are recruiting our students. So after that, last year, the faculty were talking, well, what can we do for strategic communication folks? What can we do for some of our other majors? And I said, well, let's try this. So this is our second year. I think it's going really well. I think that what we need to do is make sure all of our students are embracing it. And so that is, so a couple of the events occasionally will get a little sparse. So we just need our students to embrace it. Come on out. There is strength in numbers. What we want to do is impress the professionals because we know our students are awesome. Sometimes they don't know they're awesome. And coming out and talking to professionals, getting that perspective and letting them hear, oh, hey, this looks great, and building that confidence to where by the time our students walk across that stage in their senior year, they are not only competitive, they are being recruited, they have multiple offers.
Right.
And I've seen that over and over and over again. And so that process begins with events like Strategic Communication Week. Go out there, talk to the pros, get the tips that you need.
Well, for the students that want to like build their resume and portfolios, how would you encourage them to get active?
Yeah.
How could they actively perform?
Absolutely. So, okay, so here's the way it works is things like, so why did we include the Student Media Center open house, right? Well, the very first thing you can do, and what I highly encourage every student to do, is come up to the Student Media Center, talk to Dr. Jason Beverly, who was our new director of student media this year. He's doing a great job. He's really raising the profile of everything. Come up, talk to Jason, tell him what you're interested in. And what I hear from him is that he's not turning anybody away. He is trying to get them going in what they want to do. And so there is a contract there, right? There's a promise on each side. So Dr. Beverly is going to work with you on what you want to do. The other side of that is we need our students to show up, work hard, learn, and build that confidence, build that, yes, I can do this. And by the time they're juniors, seniors, I know, I've seen it over and over again, they are awesome and they are ready to get out there in the industry and really do well. So come up to the Student Media Center, get started, whether it's helping out with some social media, whether it's jumping on the radio, whether it's writing a press release, whether it's writing a little news story, just getting going in that field. Number one best thing you can do. When you see internships opportunities come up, begin applying for those. And then when you see opportunities like StratCom Week and MAB Day, jump into those. It doesn't matter if you're not looking for a full-time job right now. The news directors understand young people. They hire young people. Talk to them, and they are amazing people. They will talk to you. Even if you don't have your stuff together, they'll say, okay, let's talk about what kind of stuff you need to get together. So that's what I would say. Talk to your faculty. And my door course is always open on the first floor of College Hall. Come and see me. I'd be happy to tell you whatever I got going on.
Awesome. My brain just went blank.
No, that's okay.
Looking beyond this year, what are the long-term goals for StratCom?
Yeah, so I think that as we go along here, I'd like to see some more hands-on stuff. We've tried a couple of video contests that really, the first one went okay. This year's, we haven't had as many entries as we had hoped. So
talking about for the scholarship?
Yeah, for the scholarship.
Y'all messing up on that 500. That's a free 500 given, y'all.
Yeah, I know, right? It's money, right?
Yeah. You said a lot of students haven't.
No.
Really?
Well, I think it's because I'm going to ask you, why do you think students aren't taking part in it?
Because confidence.
Yeah, I think confidence. And I think the students are seeing it as too big a deal. And I think what we need to do is have a much broader prompt and just say, because the first one we did was give us your best USM moment. And we had quite a few entries on that one. This one, it was much more narrower. And we said, okay, give us a little video on something only a USM student would know.
Oh, talking about the little joke, inside joke.
Inside joke. And so I think that was more thinking and more work, I think, and students just perceived it.
Is that deadline already up?
Nope. Actually, you can still take part in the contest
I have some
until
ideas.
Friday. So just do it. I just like to tell students, just do it. I mean, at the very worst case, it's a little portfolio piece, right?
Right.
So just do it. It's only 10, 12 seconds. Come on, just do it. So yes. So as we go forward, I think we're gonna revisit the video contest, see if we can't get a little more excitement with our students. Look at maybe some more hands-on kind of thing, and then I do think it's we got to figure out a way to get all of our students more involved.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that. So I'm not sure exactly what that looks like yet. We'll do what we call the autopsy on this week. And we'll look at the attendance, and we'll look at the student feedback, and we'll see what our StratCom folks think, and then we'll start planning next year.
So about the dates.
Yep.
Let's say this week students wasn't, their plan was already filled up. Would y'all have like another one coming up before the end of the year or next semester?
Nope, this is it. This is our StratCom week for the year.
Oh man, I miss it if you
that's
didn't
okay. But this is the great thing, right? Is that it's never too late to go out and talk to professionals. It's never too late to start talking to me, Dr. Beverly, to your faculty about building your portfolio and your resume. It's never too late to do really all of the goals of StratCom Week. So don't give up. Keep plugging away. And if you have suggestions for next year's StratCom Week, give them to me. You can always email me, edgar.simpson@usm.edu, or Faye Shua, Dr. Shua. So that's faye.shua, XUE, @usm.edu. And love to hear about it. Love to take it into account for next year.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Simpson. That was some great information. We have StratCom going on today. Y'all come by and visit. And coming up, we have our news wrap with Zion Cochran reporting on the nationwide night out and live at 5. Y'all check it out.
I'm SM2 reporter Zion Cochran here at Hattiesburg City Town Square, where the Crunch Band will be performing at Live at 5.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Live at 5 is back. On Friday, September 29th, the city of Hattiesburg and Live at 5 collaborated together to bring the city its 49th National Night Out event. National Night Out is a special event across the hub city and throughout its neighborhoods, emphasizing cooperation between the community, law enforcement, and first responders, essential elements in making all of Hattiesburg's neighborhoods safer and more caring places to live, work, and play. Here's what Forest County Sheriff Charlie Sims had to say about the National Night Out and Live at 5.
For the city to put on an event like this allows the community to come out, get together, communicate with each other, just good camaraderie among citizens from different walks of life and everything else. It's fantastic. Between the community and law enforcement, for us at the Sheriff's Department, we know that we can't solve all the crimes by ourselves. We need the community's eyes and ears. When they report crimes, they give us information, then that leads to the arrest and the prosecution of the bad guys. So without the public's help, we might eventually solve the crime, but we get it done a whole lot quicker when they help us out.
I'm Zion Cochran, and I'm signing off.
Thanks for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to our audio engineer Ashanta and Michaela, our video producer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer Shylin Davis and Huey Turley, as well as executive producer Miss Whitney Howard, program director, Shania Williams, and our GM, Dr. Wilbur. That wraps up our show for Southern Miss Today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, soar high to the sky and fly, eagle fly. I'm your host, Dundra Bird, signing out for now.
Sponsorship comes from Southern Beverage, your local Michelob